By the 10th century, 9 out of every 10 Zoroastrians in Iran were gone, not killed in a single massacre, not erased in 1 year, but removed from the demographic map. A religion that had once defined an empire was reduced to a fragile remainder. Let's rewind. In the early 7th century, before the Arab conquests, Iran was still largely Zoroastrian. Not a marginal faith, the state religion of the Sasanian Empire. Most estimates place Zoroastrians at the clear majority of population, often cited between 70 to 90% of the Iranian plateau. Fire temples were not symbols. They were infrastructure. Calendars, law, taxation, kingship, all synchronized to one cosmology. At this point, the loss was zero. No collapse yet, no vanishing, just continuity. Then came 651 CE. The Sasanian state fell, and with it, protection for its religion. What followed was not instant annihilation, but a slow numerical grind. First variable, conversion pressure. Zoroastrians were classified as dhimmis protected, but taxed. The jizya was not a one-time fee. It was annual, paid per adult male. Now scale that. If a household had 3 adult men, that was 3 payments every year indefinitely. Conversion erased the tax. Numbers respond to incentives. Second variable, institutional decay. Fire temples lost state funding. Priestly education collapsed. When a religion loses its schools, its math turns brutal. Third variable, intergenerational arithmetic. Conversion didn't need to be total. It only needed to happen once per family. One father converts. The children follow. Now multiply that over 300 years, a few percent per generation. Again and again, like compound interest, but in reverse. By the 10th century, Islamic geographers such as al-Muqaddasi and al-Masyudi describe Zoroastrians as small localized communities. From majority to minority to demographic residue. That's how 90% disappears, without a single battlefield statistic. Picture one family in 9th century Yazd, a father who still keeps the fire, a mother who whispers prayers she no longer teaches publicly, a son who understands the math. If he converts, his children eat better. They avoid the tax. They gain access to courts and careers. If he doesn't, the family shrinks socially, then economically, then numerically. This is how religions vanish, not through flames, but through spreadsheets no one wrote down. By the time his grandchildren are born, the fire is memory, and memory doesn't reproduce. By 1000 CE, Zoroastrians likely numbered a few 100,000 at most in a land that once counted them in the millions. That 90% decline is not abstract. It is the equivalent of erasing modern-day Tehran and leaving behind only one district. Not empty land, but empty continuity. And here's the irony. Zoroastrianism didn't disappear because it failed to survive. It disappeared because survival was made mathematically irrational. Statistics didn't describe the loss. They caused it. If a few percentage points per generation can erase a civilization's majority, what other disappearances in history are still hiding inside slow numbers? If you want to see history, not as data but as loss, stay with this channel. Because behind every statistic, there is a silence that had a name.